Let's break up, Ethan. I'm sick and tired of renting a place with you every month. In front of the most luxurious restaurant in Manhattan. Chloe ruthlessly threw a glass of cold water in my face. She linked arms with Brad, the young heir to a chain of car dealerships, who was smirking at me from his shiny Porsche. Take a look at yourself, Ethan. With your coffee shop employee salary. When will you ever be able to buy me a Chanel bag? As for Brad, he just put down a deposit on a penthouse in central New York for me. Chloe raised her voice, her eyes full of disdain. Brad pulled a $100 bill from his wallet and threw it into the puddle at my feet. Take this and catch a cab home. Don't stand here and pollute my girlfriend's eyes. By the way, next weekend, my family's company is going to sign a contract with the Vance Group. If you're unemployed, I'll tell the security guards to let you into Shine Shoes. I quietly wiped the water from my face, looking at Chloe one last time. The treasure I had cherished for 3 years turned out to be this cheap. I threw the worn velvet engagement ring box into the trash can. Inside was the priceless heirloom diamond ring left to me by my mother. Chloe, you will regret your choice today, I said coldly. Regret? I'll only regret not dumping you sooner. Chloe let out a shrill laugh and got into the car. The Porsche roared, splashing water onto my clothes before speeding off into the rain. I stood still in the middle of the bustling street. My family's 3-year independence trial had finally helped me see through people's true colors. I took out my scratched phone and dialed a secure number. On the other end of the line came the respectful voice of the old butler. Trembling with joy. Young Master Ethan, you finally called, Sebastian. Notify the board of directors. I agree to my parents' request. Prepare all the paperwork. I am returning to take over the chairman's seat at the Vance Group. Yes, Mr. Chairman, we will be there in just a minute. Less than 5 minutes later, a convoy of 6 sleek black Rolls-Royces, accompanied by dozens of masked bodyguards, flashed by and stopped right in front of me. Passers-by gaped in shock, watching the poor guy who had just been dumped being greeted by the head butler, who respectfully held an umbrella and opened the car door for him. At the same time, a message from the Swiss bank arrived. Account balance has been restored. Total assets, $12 billion. I leaned back against the premium leather seat, drawing the window curtains to look out at the magnificent lights of Manhattan. And a dangerous smile curled the corners of my lips. Did Brad say he was coming to the Vance Group next weekend to sign a contract? All right then. I am very much looking forward to seeing the expressions on that trashy couple's faces when they see me sitting in the chairman's seat, holding the power of life and death over their entire business. 1 week later, the towering Vance Tower located right in the center of Wall Street, Manhattan. I stepped out of the Rolls-Royce Phantom, wearing a hand-tailored Tom Ford suit from Italy. As soon as I entered the luxurious marble-paved lobby, I heard a familiar female voice. Oh my God. Brad, look. Is that the broke loser Ethan? I turned around. Chloe and Brad were walking towards me, arm in arm. Chloe was wearing a tight-fitting dress, carrying the Chanel bag she had always dreamed of. Brad was in a gaudy suit, holding a stack of contract files, with an incredibly arrogant look on his face. Brad stepped up, looked me up and down, and let out a mocking laugh. Well, look at your knockoff suit, Ethan. Did you dress like this to come here and apply for a janitor position? I told you, if you can't find a job, just come to my car dealership to Shine Shoes. Chloe chimed in, shaking her head in dismay. Ethan, you're truly hopeless. We broke up, and you still purposely stalked me all the way here. Are you planning to make a scene to ruin Brad's business? Dream on, the Vance Group is not a place for someone of your class to enter. I shoved both hands into my pockets and looked at them with ice-cold eyes. I didn't come here looking for you, I came to see how Brad's company is going to sign a contract. How do you plan on watching? By standing outside the glass doors and looking in? Brad sneered, turning to wave at the security guards. Hey security, this guy is a very suspicious-looking unemployed bum. Kick him out before your CEO Richard comes down to greet me. Before the security guards could approach, a gray-haired man in a powerful pinstripe suit quickly walked out from the VIP corridor. It was Richard, the CEO of the Vance Group. Following behind him were the entire senior management team and financial secretaries. Brad's eyes lit up. He hurriedly adjusted his tie and pulled Chloe forward with the most flattering smile possible. Greetings, Mr. Richard. I am Brad from the car dealership chain, here to sign an exclusive contract with the group. For you to come down in person to welcome me, I'm truly flattered. However, Richard just brushed past Brad like he was invisible. He walked straight toward me before the wide shocked eyes of Chloe and Brad. One of the most powerful CEOs on Wall Street bowed at almost a 90-degree angle. Simultaneously, dozens of executives behind him bowed low as well. Welcome back, Chairman Ethan Vance. Richard's voice echoed throughout the grand lobby. Everyone around held their breath. The Chanel bag in Chloe's hand dropped onto the marble floor with a thud. Her face turned deathly pale and her lips trembled violently. The stack of files in Brad's hands also fluttered to the ground. His eyes filled with absolute terror. Chairman Vance. Brad stammered, his throat as dry as if he had just swallowed sand. Impossible. He's just a coffee barista who can't afford rent. I took a step forward, lightly tapped Brad's shoulder and smirked. Yes. I was once a guy who couldn't afford rent. Because I was busy completing the Vance family's independent living trial. Now the trial is over. I turned to look at Richard, my voice as cold as ice. Richard. Does the Vance Group intend to cooperate with this guy's rundown car dealership chain? Richard immediately replied, Mr. Chairman, we were prepared to sign a funding contract with them. But if you do not approve, cancel it, I ordered sharply. No, Ethan, Mr. Vance, you can't do that. Brad screamed in panic, collapsing onto the floor. This contract was the final lifeline for his family's company, which was on the verge of bankruptcy. Right at that moment, Brad's phone rang. As soon as he answered, his father's screams could be heard from the outside. You idiot. Who did you mess with at the Vance Group? The bank just froze all of our accounts. They even bought out all our remaining shares for dirt cheap. Our company is ruined. The phone slipped from Brad's hand. He looked at me with desperate eyes. From an arrogant young heir, he was now just a penniless nobody, not worth a single cent. And what about you, Chloe? I slowly turned to the woman standing petrified next to him. Chloe seemed to snap out of it. She hastily abandoned Brad, who was kneeling on the ground, and lunged forward to grab my sleeve, tears streaming down her face. Ethan. It's me. Brad forced me into this. He deceived me. The person I truly love is only you, Ethan. Let's get back together, okay? I coldly pulled my arm away, took a handkerchief from my pocket, wiped the spots she had just touched, and then threw the handkerchief straight into the nearby trash can. Do you remember the ring I was going to give you the other day? That was a $10 million heirloom diamond ring, but unfortunately, you threw it away with your own hands to chase after $100 bill from this bankrupt loser. Hearing the $10 million figure, Chloe's legs gave out. She slumped to the ground, burying her face in her hands, sobbing uncontrollably in utter resentment and extreme regret. Richard, I don't want to see these two pieces of trash appearing anywhere on the streets of Manhattan ever again. Clean them up. I turned my back and walked straight towards the chairman's exclusive elevator under the bows of hundreds of employees. Behind me, the burly security guards immediately stepped forward, mercilessly dragging Brad and Chloe out of the building. Their screams and pleas pierced through the luxurious glass doors before fading completely into the noisy sirens and traffic of Wall Street. They once had the chance to touch the pinnacle of high society, but their own materialism and treacherous nature had pushed them to the very bottom of society. From now on, they will have to live in poverty and regret for the rest of their lives.